nation's commercial capital. This is the News at 10. Live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Ayotunde Balogun.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, the president vows to deploy full state power with adequately equipped armed forces to ensure the security of the nation. Former Aviation Minister Stella Odua and 8 other persons arraigned at the Federal High Court Abuja over allegations of fraud amounting to 5 billion naira. Diphtheria disease claims 32 lives, mainly children in Yobe and Kaduna State, with others hospitalized. And trial judge sets May the 20th, 2024 for former U.S. President Donald Trump to be arraigned for alleged mishandling of classified documents.
On business news tonight, World Bank ranks Nigeria as Africa's largest economy for 5th year as GDP grows to $477.38 billion last year from $440 billion in 2021.
On sports news tonight, Chiamaka Nnadozie saves Preston Sinclair's penalty as Super Falcons forced Olympic champions to a goalless draw in the opening game of the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup.
From Abuja, the nation's capital, returning officers in the 2023 general elections outline ways to boost the nation's electoral process as INEC continues its review of the polls.
The fight against terrorism and other crimes in the country may be about to enter a new dimension. Well, this comes as the president has vowed his administration will deploy full military power to protect lives and property of citizens within the country. President Bola Tinubu gave the assurances while addressing graduates of the Command and Staff College in Jaji, Kaduna State at the graduation ceremony of the Senior Course 45.
It's a graduation ceremony of the Senior Course 45 of the Armed Forces Command and Staff College Jaji in Kaduna State. A total of 291 officers who distinguished themselves in character and learning are said to be let out after 48 grueling weeks. President Bola Tinubu arrives accompanied by the Kaduna State Governor, Senator Uba Sani, and the National Security Advisor, Nuru Ribadu. Also in attendance are all the service chiefs, the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Defense, as well as members of the diplomatic corps. Among the graduating officers are 264 officers of the Nigerian Armed Forces, 12 civilians from ministries and agencies, as well as 15 others from allied African countries and Asia.
The increasing number of international participations for our courses in this college is a clear attestation that our graduates are living up to the expectations of the armed forces of their respective countries.
Applauding the international composition of graduates and participants in the course at the college, President Tinubu emphasizes the urgent need for collaboration among member states to ensure peace in the Lake Chad region.
This new generation of threats demand that African countries work together as never before. In this regard, the multinational collaboration of Nigeria, Cameroon, the Niger Republic, and Chad to bring peace to Lake Chad region is an example that must be improved by all means and replicated whenever it's necessary.
The president also pledges his administration's commitment to deploying the full range of state power to ensure the adequate security of people and their possessions.
As Commander-in-Chief, I have given myself the following charge: to deploy the entire machinery of state power to ensure security of our people and property in a just and democratic society. Under my predecessor, the armed forces worked tirelessly towards necessary reform to enhance combat effectiveness and operational capability. We must now pick the pace.
The president's speech underscores the significance of strengthening the capabilities of the African armed forces and other allied nations, while acknowledging the dynamic and evolving nature of security threats.
You have been found worthy in character and learning. Congratulations.
Some officers who distinguished themselves during the course were then honored with merit awards. Some of the graduates say they're eager to put their experiences to the service of their country.
So far, so good. We've learned a lot of things. We're better and ready to be launched into the field in order to help our nation to provide security for all the citizens of this nation.
It will help us to work in different aspects in both in our country as well as abroad, and we can fulfill the objectives of our military as well as the various other militaries in the world.
The Command and Staff College prides itself in preparing military officers for higher responsibilities, particularly in the face of current and emerging security threats. These officers are expected to bring all they've learned here to bear in protecting the country and its citizens.
Meanwhile, as part of the steps towards boosting counter-terrorism operations nationwide, the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Vice Marshal Hassan Abubakar, says 51 additional aircraft are being expected by the force. According to Air Vice Marshal Abubakar, acquisition of aircraft will bolster training, air power employment and production. Those being expected include 2 Augusta 109 Trekker multi-role helicopters, 2 Beechcraft King Air 360, 3 Diamond DA-62 surveillance aircraft, and 6 T-129 attack helicopters. The others are 2 CASA 295 medium airlift surveillance aircraft, 12 AH-1Z attack helicopters, and 24 M346 attack aircrafts. Air Vice Marshal Abubakar stated this during his maiden operational tour of the Nigerian Air Force units in Makurdi, the Benue State capital. To legal matters, former Aviation Minister Stella Odua, her ex-aide Gloria Odita, and 7 others have been arraigned before Justice Inyang Ekwo of the Federal High Court in Abuja over fraud-related offences. They were arraigned on a 25-count charge bordering on conspiracy, money laundering, and maintaining anonymous accounts amounting to 5 billion naira with a first-generation commercial bank. Our correspondent, Emanuela Ekele, reports.
The former Minister of Aviation, Mr. Stella Odua, is at the Federal High Court, Abuja, alongside other defendants for the arraignment in the suit brought against them by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The anti-graft agency, among other charges, alleges that Mrs. Odua and other defendants had in February 2014 used their positions to transfer public funds to accounts of 2 private companies. They were accused of violating Section 11, subsection 1 of the Money Laundering Prohibition Act 2011 and punishable under Section 11, subsection 4A of the same act. They were equally accused of opening a United States dollar anonymous private banking nominee account. They all pleaded not guilty to the 25-count charge. The trial judge, Justice Inyang Ekwo, subsequently allowed them to go home on the administrative bail earlier granted them by the EFCC. Though the charge was filed since 2020, the EFCC was unable to arraign the defendants owing to a petition they wrote to the immediate past Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mr. Abubakar Malami. Mr. Malami had urged the court to put the trial on hold to enable him review the case file. However, before he left office, he gave the EFCC the go-ahead to proceed with the trial, albeit Justice Ekwo directed the anti-graft agency to transfer the case file to the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation and adjourned the case to October 17 for trial. Emanuela Ekele, Channels Television News.
The suspended governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, will be arraigned before the Federal High Court, Lagos, on July the 25th on a two-count charge of illegal possession of firearms and ammunition. One of his lawyers, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Victor Okpara, confirmed to Channels Television that hearing notices to that effect has been sent out by the court to all counsels involved in the matter. He also confirmed that Senior Advocate of Nigeria and former President of the Bar, Joseph Daudu, will personally be in court to lead the defendant's team. Mr. Emefiele will be arraigned before the vacation judge, Justice Nicholas Owebo. He has been in the custody of the Department of State Services, DSS, since June the 10th when he was arrested. There are, however, indications that the DSS will return him to Lagos over the weekend so he can face the charges against him. The federal government, in the charge sheet seen by Channels Television, accused Mr. Emefiele of possessing a single-barrel shotgun without a license. In a bid to strengthen the fight against financial crimes in the country, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, says it is presently reorganizing and re-strategizing its approach against the unwholesome practices. This was made known by the acting chairman of the EFCC, Mr. Abdul Karim Chukol, at the passing out parade of members of the Commission's Detective Superintendent Cadets Course 9 at the EFCC Academy, Abuja.
Today, we are witnessing the passing out of a crop of cadets who 12 months ago were carefully selected out of thousands of applicants. Your passing out today and joining the ranks of the Commission is coming at a time we are consolidating on the efforts of several years of battling corruption and other economic and financial crimes. The EFCC, as you know, is championing the fight against these unwholesome acts being perpetrated by unscrupulous persons whose aim in gaining illicit wealth at the expense of the safety and security of the generality of the public and the image of our dear nation. The EFCC is presently reorganizing and strategizing as a way of self-appraisal and repositioning. Let me reiterate that the Commission has zero tolerance for corruption, indiscipline, and unprofessional conduct.
In other stories, the leadership tussle of the 7th Nasarawa State House of Assembly, which led to the emergence of two factional speakers, appears to have come to an end. This comes as all 24 members of the Assembly showed up at the Assembly complex in Lafia today for a plenary after a series of peace meetings. During the plenary, the members elected Ibrahim Balarabe Abdullahi, who represents the Umaisha Ugia constituency, as the Speaker, with Abel Yakubu Bala of Nasarawa Egon West as his deputy. While hosting the members at Government House, Governor Abdullahi Sule urged them to leave the crisis behind and work for the progress of the state.
I want to advise you, please, I'm pleading with you, to live with each other in fairness and in trust, to respect one another amongst yourselves, to put all these things that have happened behind you. So I pray that you will take each other as brothers keepers and sisters keepers. You have only one sister, amongst you. And I plead with you also to take everyone, for that leadership, because that leadership is a trust that they have given to you. It's a trust that God Almighty has given to you. So to forget about you have 10 members or 14 members, or this, all of them are your own 23 members. So if you do it that way, then you are doing. And then you also should respect him in that. No corner meetings, no under the table meetings, no this, no other meeting but the meeting of House of Assembly.
To health matters in Yobe State, where the government has confirmed that 26 patients who contracted diphtheria disease in the state have died, while 21 persons are still at various isolation centers receiving medications. The senior special assistant to the state governor on health, Dr. Lawan Gana, told Channels Television that so far 289 patients have been discharged from various health facilities in the state. The outbreak of the disease, which has become a matter of concern to the state government in the last 3 weeks, has spread to 7 local government areas of the state. Meanwhile, they said sensitization and mobilization of communities are ongoing to help curtail the spread of the disease. It's a similar story in Kaduna State, where at least 6 persons, mainly children, have died, with 12 others hospitalized in Kafanchan as a result of the disease outbreak. A statement by the state government explains that the outbreak occurred in 3 wards of Jamar local government area. Some residents of the area were said to have started exhibiting symptoms such as difficulty in breathing, high fever, cough, general body weakness, sore throat, and swelling of the neck some 2 weeks ago. Meanwhile, Governor Uba Sani has directed the State Ministry of Health to investigate it and ensure the affected cases are moved to adequately equipped hospitals for proper management. In part 2, after the break, the United Nations Fund, Children's Fund that is, report says 300,000 children in Kano State may not have received any immunization. Please join us again.
Hey, big head. Oh, yeah, sorry. Where are you?
I'm at the bus stop.
Dinner is ready and mommy wants you to come home.
Come in as soon as I get a bus.
That's right. You too could be one of the 20 Zenith Bank customers that will win 150,000 Naira every 2 weeks from June 1st, 2023 until May 31st, 2024 in the Zenith Better Life Promo 3. To qualify, simply open a Zenith Bank account. For more information, visit www.zenithbank.com/betterlife. Live the better life with Zenith Bank.
Repair and recover with Astamin, a blend of amino acids and multivitamins.
Hello, this is Premium Pension. How can we help?
Our experts work behind the scenes, enabling our members grow wealth to secure a premium tomorrow. We see your hard work and we make your money work hard for you. We are growing with you in commitment and service. Leveraging technology to meet your demands. Secure your future and pave way for the next generation. Embracing diversity with firm roots across the 36 states of Nigeria and the FCT. Premium Pension. Active today, premium tomorrow.
In the heart of Abuja, at the center of the nation, arises a new exclusive community, a project of Paulton Morgan Holdings. From the developers of Grenadines Resort, Katampe, one of Nigeria's finest residential communities, we are excited to share our newest residential community, Rockhampton, by Grenadines Homes, a blend of nature, innovation, and functionality, put together to make an exquisite mountainside community. Situated in Katampe Extension, with easy access to town, proximity to major landmarks, and other recreational facilities like the IVB Golf Course, Rockhampton offers investors an opportunity to get high returns on their real estate investments.
Savlon Antiseptic Liquid kills over 99.9% of germs on your skin, leaving you free to live more. And it's formulated by Johnson & Johnson to keep you and your family protected. Savlon, love the feeling.
I keep trying. He might think I'm desperate. Is this dress even fine? What if he doesn't like me? He's here. I'm his spec. Joe? Same Joe.
Same Joe, minor differences. Same Joe, minor differences? Don't even think about judging Joe, because you're probably just like him. Why is the name on your business bank account Ahmed Aminu and not your business name? Same business, different name, right? Stop impersonating your business and get an account in your business name with MoneyPoint.
Whatever it takes to make sure you have a business account opened in your business name, we'll do it as your sure banker.
See trouble. Is this not the same name?
Open a bank account in your business name with MoneyPoint.
Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, coming to you live from Channels Television. A reminder of our top stories. The president vows to deploy full state power with adequately equipped armed forces to ensure the security of the nation. Former Aviation Minister Stella Udwa and 8 other persons arraigned at the Federal High Court Abuja over allegations of fraud amounting to 5 billion naira. Diphtheria disease claims 32 lives, mainly children in Yobe and Kaduna states, with others hospitalized. And trial judge sets May the 20th, 2024 for former U.S. President Donald Trump to be arraigned for alleged mishandling of classified documents. Staying with health, 300,000 children in Kano State, northwest Nigeria, have not received any immunization, according to a report by the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF. The situation is exacerbated by the recent hike in fuel prices, which has significantly increased transportation fares and limited access to healthcare. Our correspondent, Sadiq Ilyasu, reports.
Since the removal of fuel subsidy, the price of the premium motor spirit has skyrocketed to 620, affecting the livelihood of the people. About 300,000 children in Kano State, northwest Nigeria, receive zero immunization. And with the removal of fuel subsidy, the hike in the transportation fares is now adding to the challenges of access to routine immunization. Mothers like Maria Usman and Aisha Inua are concerned about the high transportation cost and how it is affecting their ability to access health care for their daughters.
I used to pay 100 naira to this hospital, but now I have to pay 400 naira to come here. Transportation has increased. I have to trek halfway to reduce the cost of transportation, and after that, I pay 300 naira.
At the Amir Boka Primary Health Center, the lack of functional cooling facility for the vaccines further delays routine immunization for children.
Ideally, this place is supposed to have a solar drive where they are going to store the vaccines. So it's not functional, because as we saw it, it is not functional. So there is need for them to at least have a functional solar drive so that it will help to fast track more, especially the issue of the zero dose and the children that are missing.
At a media dialogue, the UNICEF field officer, Mr. Ehud Farah, appeals to the state government to work at reducing the rate of zero dosage.
And also call on governments of the Kano, Jigawa, Katsina states and other states with zero dose local governments to take concerted action and concerted efforts to strengthen the primary health care system.
The Commissioner of Health assures that the state government will collaborate with the traditional leaders to address the situation.
With the Commissioner of Education within the task force, he will help with issuing orders to all schools to allow vaccinators to go into school. That is it. And I mentioned the use of traditional leaders. They are very, very important in this part of the country. With traditional leaders, you can reach the lowest level of human existence in the states. That I know. And that was why I paid a courtesy visit yesterday to the Emir of Kano, and he assured us. And I hope other states will do the same thing.
Routine immunization for children is crucial for disease prevention and reducing child mortality. Relevant authorities taking the necessary steps promptly will help to remedy this critical issue. Sadiq Ilyasu, Channels Television News.
Let's head to the nation's capital now, and Linda Akigwe is standing by to give us the very latest from our Abuja studios. Hello, Linda.
Hello, Ayotunde. Now to the post-2023 election matters. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, continued its review of the conduct today in Abuja. This time around, the electoral body has met with vice-chancellors who served as states, collation and returning officers in the presidential and governorship elections. At the event, the participants outlined steps to be taken to ensure confidence is boosted in future elections.
For a second time in 1 week and for the third in the series of post-election meetings, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is meeting with those who played key roles in the 2023 general elections. This time around is a turn of very senior university lecturers and vice-chancellors who served as states collation officers and returning officers for the 2023 presidential election. The electoral body hopes to get feedback from them about how they carried out their assignments.
As field workers, we expect to hear from you the challenges encountered and how you will solve them in the field, bearing in mind that your key recommendations on the review exercise will definitely enhance the Commission for future elections.
The electoral body is also hoping that the suggestions and recommendations from this meeting will help the Commission to improve on logistics and technology deployment going forward.
Would like to hear your perspectives on processes and procedures for the following. 1. Recruitment, training, and posting of collation and returning officers. Number 2, logistics for your movement to and from your places of assignment. Number 4, the role of technology in result management. While some of the issues are subject of litigation and therefore sub judice, we can nevertheless discuss them broadly and most importantly, share experience on the way forward.
Outside the hall, some of the professors proffer solutions to some of the recurring challenges in Nigeria's elections.
I think the Commission should keep working on the issue of the technology to make it real time. Technology fails, we agree. I don't know the reasons why, but we understand that there were some challenges to that technology moving forward. And I think also the other issue is communication.
The electorate, that's my second point, must change their attitude. They must search among the contestants for any particular post and ensure that to the best of their ability, they satisfy their conscience that whomever they're electing is the person that will do what we ought to do to get this country back on track again.
INEC is hoping to collate all the recommendations from these meetings to pursue further reforms on future elections.
The drive towards attaining food security can be achieved with the adoption of modern technologies. This is according to the Director General of the National Biotechnology Development Agency of Nigeria, Professor Abdullahi Mustafa. He explains that science will continue to play a leading role in providing food for the nation's population. On her part, the country director of the Open Forum on Agricultural Biotechnology in Africa, Mrs. Rose Gidado, tells Nigerians to be expectant of a boost in food security in the days ahead following its partnership with government agencies.
We are a federal government agency. We are formed to also uphold this government policy of food security and nutrition security. And we have already started. Remember the cowpea that had been released, and people are very happy about it. And then now, maize, which is a very important key component of the development of the economy in Nigeria, is on the pipeline to be released, and also soybean. So we are working hard to see that we have met with what Mr. President said, and then we are happy to align ourselves with the President's vision and with the President's way of trying to pull the country together to make sure that we are self-sufficient in food production.
The challenges we have today, the climate change and all, the insect infestation, drought and what. So we need to think out of the box as scientists to actually develop crops that will meet these challenges, that will help the farmer. The farmer is there on the field. That's his source of livelihood. He doesn't have any other thing, of course. So we have to help them to come out of the situation they're in, to have yields, and then for the consumers to have quality products at the end of the day.
In Rivers State, operatives of the Nigerian Air Force have located and destroyed an illegal crude oil refining site. According to the spokesperson of the Nigerian Air Force, Air Commodore Edward Japquet, the operation is part of the air component of the joint security effort codenamed Operation Delta Safe in the Niger Delta region, and was largely intelligence-driven and achieved after hours of careful surveillance by the Air Force. Air Commodore Japquet adds that the strike took place at Dariama village, which is about 20 kilometers from Abonema in Akukutoru local government area of Rivers State. Meanwhile, troops of Operation Hadarin Daji in Zamfara State have cleared bandits' camps at Mutuwa, Gudu-Tudu, Kawa, Dantayawa, Gidankare, Muhuta, and Gyado villages of Zamfara and Sokoto states. A top military source who preferred anonymity told Channels Television that during the operation, the troops who approached the bandits' enclaves with full strength and agility frightened the bandits that fled their location before the arrival of the troops. However, the troops recovered 4 operational motorcycles of the bandits and instantly destroyed a newly established bandits' hideout. Still ahead on the news at 10, World Bank ranks Nigeria as Africa's largest economy for the 5th consecutive year, as the nation's GDP grows to $477 billion last year, $140 billion in 2021. That's in Business News. Join us again.
You want to spend your party money, but you don't get time for internet story. You don't need to dey waka with plenty money. Careful, make you dial the number 894. Make you know the wait. 894. No need to dey stand for line. 894. It is safe and secure. 894 for me. 894 for you. 894. There's a number that could change your whole world. 894. It no matter if you don't get data. 894. Just pick your phone and dial the number. 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for Nigeria.
Dial star 894 hash to get started. Powered by First Bank.
OVMA.
Oh, I wish you were here.
I'm always with you.
But it's not the same without you.
MTN 5G's amazing technology will change how we experience life and the internet. Get ready to encounter the incredible. And remember, no be juju, na MTN 5G.
Now, if you are a Nigerian, I'm sure one of these things must have happened to you before, like forgetting your wallet out, or not being able to get your full change when you buy something, or you are unsure of the account you want to make payment into. Then, NQR Payment is for you. NQR Payment Solution is a secure QR code-based payments and collections platform to help individuals and businesses, to help buyers and sellers to receive and also make instant payments for goods and services. Now, if you're a customer, here are 4 easy steps to pay sharp with NQR. 1. Sign into your mobile banking app, click on Payments, then select QR Payment. 3. Scan the unique QR code presented by the merchant. And 4. Confirm the beneficiary name, amount, then input your PIN, and the merchant receives its payment instantly. To use NQR for your business, contact your bank. This message is brought to you by the Bankers Club team.
Whether you're a homemaker or a fashionista or an entrepreneur or a traveler, no matter who or where you are, there's a Keystone card made just for you.
Visit any Keystone branch nearest to you or download the Key mobile app to get your card today. Keystone Bank. We grow together.
The Duchess International Hospital opened its doors in October 2021. The mission of the hospital is to reverse medical tourism. We take particular care here at the Duchess to bring together a combination of the brightest and the best locally, as well as Nigerians in the diaspora who are interested in returning to do very good work for the benefit of our patients here in this country.
The good thing is that we had all international expertise here, all international facilities here, international people working here. Everything is coming together in a space which was considered not great in terms of the availability of healthcare.
Access Bank, of course, has been able to provide us with a robust range of products and services that has enabled us to deliver that standard and quality of healthcare that is integral to our mission as an organization.
Welcome back. The Lagos State Task Force has moved its environmental clearance exercise to the Agege area of the state. Traders who had displayed their goods along the railway corridor were cleared, while those who put up resistance were arrested today. The commander of the task force, Mr. Shola Jajaloye, explains that the state will no longer tolerate illegal trading along the rail lines as it constitutes environmental menace.
It's been days after the State Environmental Task Force displaced traders along Oshodi-Yaba railway axis, signaling massive campaign to rid the entire rail line of human obstacles. This time, the unit is carrying out its raid on traders along the Agege rail line axis. It's a mixed display of perishable and non-perishable goods.
It's a security for the passenger, because when the passenger, if the air is empty, a passenger cannot walk around this place like this, because it will be very dangerous.
They told us to Lelue, and they didn't provide a place for us, somebody like us to stay. A space that they are providing, they are selling the place, a shop for 5 million naira. Actually, a woman selling a tomato of 5,000 naira to buy that a shop of 1 million naira.
Before those boys carry one
It's not a smooth passage for this short rail coach, whose corridor has been taken over by traders.
There is a law in place under which we operate, which is Lagos State Environmental Law, which empowers us to carry out this enforcement. If you know what you are doing is right, you come to, we are not working in the dark, we are not working in the midnight, everybody is seeing us, you are here with us. Because we want to discourage all acts that constitute environmental nuisance.
However, some of the traders who put up resistance have the officers to contend with.
For the young men and elderly men that have turned these rail tracks into slum, that have built houses here, that are selling scraps here, stolen properties here, fabricated properties here. They are constructing a lot of things over there. They have fridge, they have freezers, they have bed, they have wardrobes. Rail track, for goodness sake. We are taking them to court. We are getting judgment on them.
It's not okay for us to be at home doing nothing. How are we going to eat? We have family, we have siblings, we have parents. Please, the government should consider us, please. They should assist us. We are really suffering.
Helpless, the traders watch from a distance as their goods are taken away.
The managing director of the Bank of Industry, Mr. Olukayode Pito, is calling for international cooperation and solidarity to advance innovative financing for development in Nigeria. He is also stressing the need for fresh ideas and creative approaches to bridge the financing gap and drive transformative change in the country. Mr. Pito was speaking at the 3rd Annual General Assembly of the Association of Development Finance Institutions in Abuja.
It is the 3rd Annual General Assembly of the Association of Development Finance Institutions. And gathered in this hall are experts in the nation's financial sector to brainstorm on innovations to complement their funding to improve small businesses in Nigeria. The Bank of Industry is Nigeria's oldest and largest development financing institution. The assets of the bank have grown by 381% between 2017 and 2023, reaching 2.38 trillion naira by the end of 2022, and closing at 3.29 trillion naira as of June of 2023. The bank is introducing more innovative financing mechanisms to contribute to the nation's development.
Since the Bank of Industry commenced its innovative financing mechanisms, the total assets have grown between 2017 and the first half of this year by 381%, reaching 2.38 trillion by the end of the year 2022 and closing at 3.29 trillion as of June 2023.
The conversation here centers on innovative financing for development impact, and financial institutions are making a case for collaborative efforts to drive inclusive growth in Nigeria.
Africa needs to spend at least $150 billion annually for the next decade for us to close the gap in terms of our infrastructure development relative to the rest of the world. And to do this kind of financing, all of us need to work together. We all have to be innovative, and we all need to work together as an ecosystem to address the challenges before us.
This is a period we are all struggling to be able to finance most of the projects and products that we have in most of our states. And so we need to bring in innovations and be proactive in whatever we are doing now. So presently in Lagos State, that is exactly what we are doing. We've been proactive, we've been innovative in the way we do things. And we've been looking at ways to be able to leverage on most of our assets to be able to serve as equity, most of the things we are doing.
The major takeaway is that there is need to prioritize the advancement of members of the association and leverage on the knowledge that will improve financing initiatives among the institutions.
Let's now join Anne Waldo, who's standing by for the very latest in the world of business. Anne.
Banking so easy, so simple. Dial *894# now to experience it. You first, First Bank.
Thank you, Ayotunde. Hello and welcome to Business News. Let's begin with the economy. And Nigeria has retained its position as Africa's largest economy for 5 consecutive years in 2022, with the gross domestic product of $477.4 billion. Now, that's according to latest report coming from the World Bank. The International Finance Institution says the country accounted for 17.4% of the continent's economy, with a combined GDP of $2.7 trillion as at last year. The World Bank data also shows that Nigeria has remained the continent's biggest economy since 2018, when it overtook South Africa as the largest, which came third with an estimated GDP of $405.9 billion, while Egypt came second with a GDP of $476.7 billion after recording 12.3% GDP growth from previous year. And economic experts have predicted significant growth in the banking sector with the aid of a single exchange rate and other policies of the new administration. At an event in Osogbo, Osun State, financial experts Mr. Jimo Adebayo and Olufemi Adesina explained the fixed exchange rate limits foreign and direct investment, and new policies will motivate foreign investors to the nation's economy. They, however, noted that the market is still evolving and Nigerians will soon have a good turnaround.
The Naira has started appreciating. People are happy to have what we call the diaspora funding has also started increasing. The banking sector has witnessed increase in deposit of foreign exchange, and the non-oil export has also started improving, because people now believe that whenever they earn dollars, they can sell this dollar at the current market forces. So President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has introduced a system which at the end of the day will make everybody happy. With technology, with prudency and efficient planning, we will definitely be able to overcome the seeming pain, which at the end of the day will be a lot of gains for many Nigerians.
Now that the exchange rate is determined by the market, it makes foreign investors to be more confident of investing in the economy. And this is what obtains in all advanced economies. So we are very happy that our president took that bold decision. Yes, it might seem unpopular today, but definitely in the next few months, it's good actually that the exchange rate is now reflective of the market. It's now reacting to the pressures of demand and supply rather than the previous arrangement where the exchange rate was fixed. Fixing exchange rates limits foreign direct investment.
Banks' net domestic credit to the Nigerian economy has risen by 11% month-on-month to 84 trillion naira, up from 75.4 trillion naira recorded in a month of May. And that's according to the money and credit statistics of the Central Bank of Nigeria. An analysis of the CBN data shows the private sector took 52.8 trillion naira, which is about 17.9% rise from the 44.7 trillion naira it collected in a month of May. The statistics also shows the credit to the government rose by 1.6% to 31.2 trillion naira, up from 30.7 trillion naira during the comparative period. Nigeria's external reserves have also maintained a steady decline, dropping by 13.82% in 1 year. Data from the CBN also shows the foreign exchange reserves declined to $33.9 billion as of July the 19th, down from $39.4 billion recorded in the corresponding period for last year. Economic analysts have attributed the steady decline of the country's external reserves to the low inflow of foreign currencies, as well as CBN's intervention in the forex market. They also expect the currency pressures to remain intact in the near term due to seasonal induced demand and the current frail forex supply, despite CBN's abolishment of multiple forex windows. We head to the equities market now, where it's another win for the local market at the end of Friday's trading session. It cruised back into 65,000 points level. Will Ibong has the details.
Welcome to the Stock Market Report, and it's a perfect grand finale for the week as a 10% gain in GTCO pushed the All-Share Index higher today by 1.68% and taking that index right back to the 65,000 level. And this is rightly expected by analysts. The banking sector pulled a fantastic final trading today. We saw a 10% gain in GTCO, with FBN Holdings following closely with a 9% share price appreciation and pushing that counter up today by 9.46%. We can say for a fact that investors are happy. FBN Holdings declared a profit after tax of about 187 billion naira, and that's got investors' mouth watering and hoping other banking stocks will replicate the positive performance. And now let's look at oil and gas. On the flip side, down today 0.33%, and that's because investors would not let Eternal Oil breathe from profit-taking. Let's see who made it to the top gainers leaderboard. GTCO up today 10%, as we mentioned earlier. Its share price added 3 naira 50 kobo to close at 38 naira 50 kobo, while Academy Press led the decliners, even with the fact that they declared a 10 kobo dividend. So 4 positives in the week against 1 negative pullback. We all know the bull is going to be having fun in the meadow. And that's the stock market report. I'm Will Ibong.
Thank you very much, Will. And now let's take a look at closing figures for other major markets around the world. That's Business News Tonight. Thank you for watching. I'm Anne Nwawadu. The rest of the news at 10 continues with Ayot Sunday. Have a wonderful weekend.
Banking so easy, so simple. Dial *894# now to experience it. You first, First Bank.
Thank you so much, Anne. A U.S. judge, Aileen Cannon, has set May the 20th, 2024 for the trial of former President Donald Trump for alleged mishandling of classified documents. The 2-week trial is expected to take place in Fort Pierce, Florida. Here's Simon Pusey with more on this and other international stories in Around the World in 5.
Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. A federal judge has scheduled ex-President Donald Trump's trial for alleged mishandling of classified documents for spring next year. Judge Aileen Cannon set the case for the 20th of May. Mr. Trump faces serious charges over the storage of sensitive files at his Florida home. Prosecutors say he illegally kept secret documents at his Mar-a-Lago estate after he left office and obstructed government efforts to retrieve them. Extraordinary footage has been released of an explosion that ripped through Johannesburg's central business district, killing 1 person and injuring dozens more. Security CCTV footage from a building nearby the explosion shows the moment the explosion happened, blasting and toppling minibus taxis and creating a deep crack in the tar road, with pedestrians running away from the blast. The cause of the explosion has not yet been confirmed.
You voted for change.
Sir Keir Starmer has declared Labour's by-election success in Selby and Ainsty, overturning a 20,000 Tory majority, calling it a cry for change.
The crumbling public services, a cry for change.
Standing next to the new MP and current youngest sitting in Parliament, Keir Mather, he said, "You voted for change."
You voted for change. You put your trust in the Labour Party, and we hear you. We hear that cry for change, away from the chaos, away from those rising bills, the crumbling public services, a cry for change. And we will deliver. We will deliver through Keir Mather here, and we'll deliver with the next Labour government.
Dyke, Sarah Joanne, Liberal Democrats, 21,187.
Meanwhile, the Lib Dems' Sarah Dyke has overturned a Conservative majority of 19,000 in Somerton and Frome. Party leader Ed Davey fired a cartoon cannon with the words, "Get these clowns out of number 10. He said the victory shows that voters are uniting to defeat the Conservatives.
I am truly honoured by the faith of the people of Somerton and Frome and the faith that you have put in me tonight. It is humbling to be elected to represent the place my family have lived for generations and farmed for over 200 years.
And the Conservative Party won Boris Johnson's former parliamentary seat on the western fringes of London. Rishi Sunak says that shows the next general election is not a done deal.
Westminster's been acting like the next election's a done deal. The Labour Party's been acting like it's a done deal. The people of Uxbridge just told all of them that it's not. Now, no one expected us to win here, but Steve's victory demonstrates that when confronted with the actual reality of the Labour Party, when there's an actual choice on a matter of substance at stake, people vote Conservative.
In Western India, rescue teams are still searching for possible survivors of a massive landslide. It killed more than a dozen people and was suspected to have trapped over 100 more. Weather conditions hampered already difficult rescue efforts more than a day after the incident occurred. Tony Bennett, the legendary New York pop and jazz singer, has died at the age of 96. Bennett was known for his songs such as The Way You Look Tonight, Body and Soul, and I Left My Heart in San Francisco. He also collaborated with star performers from Lady Gaga to Aretha Franklin and Frank Sinatra, who called him the best singer in the business. During a career that spanned 8 decades, the crooner sold millions of records and won 20 Grammys, including a Lifetime Achievement Award. And Britain's Prince George, the second in line to the throne, turns 10 on Saturday. The eldest son of Prince William was born on the 22nd of July 2013 in the private Lido wing of St Mary's Hospital in London. Earlier this year, George played a major role in the coronation of his grandfather, King Charles. He accompanied the King as one of his 4 pages of honour at the grand ceremony on May the 6th and joined the procession through the nave of London's Westminster Abbey. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel's studios in Lagos.
Thank you, Simon. Welcome to Sports News. Super Falcons goalkeeper Nnadozie admits saving Christian Sinclair's penalty is a dream come true after a heroic performance and Nigeria a point against Olympic champions Canada in the opening group game of the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup. Having earned the penalty following a VR check from Francesca Odega's foul, Sinclair missed the opportunity to add to her international goals of 190. The 22-year-old was named player of the match. Nigeria will face co-host Australia on Thursday, July 27th. Meanwhile, Canada coach Beverly Priestman refused to blame Sinclair after she missed the penalty against Nigeria. Sinclair has scored 190 goals for Canada in 323 games, becoming the all-time top scorer in international football. Priestman said she is devastated with the result and expected 3 points from the game. Canada will face Ireland on Wednesday, July 26th. Spain cruised to victory in their 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup opener as they dominated Costa Rica in Wellington. Valeria Del Campo scored an own goal to put Spain ahead before Altana Bonmati curled in a second 2 minutes later. Esther Gonzalez added a third after a header against the crossbar by Jennifer Hermoso. Switzerland opened their campaign with a 2-0 victory over debutants, the Philippines, in New Zealand. Ramona Bachmann's penalty late in the first half opened the scoring for Swiss before Serena Pubel doubled their lead with a close-range effort in the 64th minute. And Zambia coach Bruce Nwape says his epic team will round the old people in opposing sides of their fate at the Women's World Cup, starting with former champion Japan. Zambia are the lowest-ranked team at the 32-nation tournament, but Nwape said they have enough firepower to upset anyone and hopes to prove it in their Group C opener in Halmington on Saturday. That sports news is back to you, Ayo.
Many thanks, Chris. And the main news again. President Bola Tinubu today vowed to deploy full state power with adequately equipped armed forces to ensure the security of the nation. He gave the assurances while addressing graduates of the Senior Course 45 Command and Staff College in Jaji, Kaduna State. That's the news at 10 tonight. Many thanks for watching. I'm Ayo Tunde Balogun. Do have a good night.